Hey guys, it's Andrea. Welcome back to the channel. So guys, this is a follow-up video on disability erasure. So I started looking further into disability erasure and trends that have been around this. And it's kind of been an interesting one to have a look at because disability erasure is not something we talk about a lot in equity, inclusion, and diversity, because that has become such a politically hijacked topic. And what I mean by that is people who have a specific political agenda to try and change things to a more inclusive environment, but don't realize when they have achieved their goals. Because they are essentially an activist, their goal is finding fault and changing faults with the system. But when a system is not inherently flawed, they will still try to push for it. But one thing that we're seeing is that people wanting to ally with people, and that might be certain cross sections of the community that have been traditionally marginalised, have had to traditionally hide who they are. But we now see that this is something that people need to be much more aware of, because the people that are getting left behind in this allyship are people with disabilities. And we are a very large, wide cross-section of the community. There's no one disability look, there's no one disability lifestyle, there's no one disability support worker, there's no one caregiver. And that is what makes disability rights so complex. But in this equity, diversity, and inclusion, we're seeing terms coming out, terms like mainstreaming, terms like accessibility, terms like universal design, terms like that are all great terms, but how do we define them? And so, so I just want to stop and define. Mainstreaming is around education, work, and training. When a person who would traditionally be in a supported workplace, a sheltered workshop, or be supported by a support worker to achieve open employment, this is where the support worker is taken away, or the sheltered workshop is made into a traditional workshop. They're paid higher wages. A day centre that is designed strictly for people with disabilities might widen to cater to the elderly community as well. These aren't necessarily bad things, but they do come with their own risks and benefits as well. But then the term that I want to get into, because it's so controversial even within the disability community, is the term high functioning. People sometimes don't understand that high functioning in Australia is used as a technical term. It's described for someone who doesn't need a lot of help with activities of daily living, but might need help navigating a social setting, a day centre, meal planning, managing their finances, like myself, prompting to get out of bed in the morning, knowing when to rest because I'm over fatigued and overtaxed, knowing when that is lethargy, knowing when I need to eat, things like that. And this is disability erasure. And also something talking about the NDIS as if it's a major tax burden. People like medical professionals saying people like myself who are very high functioning don't deserve the same level of support that people who are vulnerable think. But I don't think that person's talked to a disabled person in doing the research for that at all, because I don't get the same level of support and help. I I'm left alone a lot more, and that has actually affected my mental health. But we see that these things need to be addressed a lot more. The other thing is families not necessarily giving up, but having limited contact with the person with a disability. We say that, oh, that's a tragedy, X, Y, Z, but we don't know the full story. We don't know their circumstances. We don't know how long they cared for that person while needing a break. So, guys, this is some topics that I'm going to start diving into a bit more, especially having people on the channel as well. In the coming week, I am recording those interviews as well. Guys, please, if you're enjoying the content, can you like, share, subscribe? That all just helps me on my monetization journey. Thank you.